Yeah. In terms of, and this is a question I posed to Aruna Roy also when she was on the program earlier, it is difficult to imagine and thereafter sustain collective action in Sri Lanka for a number of reasons. One is that there is perhaps in comparison to India, there's a lack of a civic responsibility, an idea of citizenship, coupled with a genuine fear or anxiety about violence directed against oneself for standing up for one's beliefs and certainly holding government accountable. In that space, in that context, which of course might change after the end of the war, we have seen sporadic calls for RTI in this country, but no sustained movement, no sustained campaign, no sustained activism or advocacy. There have been peaks, but it has not been sustained. If you were to accept those conditions and that context, Arvind, I mean, do you have some ideas as to how we can, in this country, go about, for example, making it an agenda on the elections campaign running up to the presidential elections on the 26th of January next year?
Two things. One is, as far as collective action is concerned, it's always like that.
Yeah.
You take up, I mean, even if we take up the freedom movement in India, it's people come together, they protest at a particular point, and then they go back.
Yeah.
It is a few people who keep on doing that secretariat work in that intervening period. So a collective action takes place, everyone goes back, it has an impact, and then you channelize that impact and then you work towards the next political action, next collective action. So it's a natural thing. I mean, people constantly cannot be in a protest mode.
Yeah.
Everyone's working, everyone has a family to sustain, etc., etc. So I think it's nothing to worry about. The only thing is that there need to be some NGOs and some civil society groups who will have to own up this whole campaign and say that we will continuously keep working towards right to information. That's number one. Number two is, I think this needs to be presented to the whole society as everyone's campaign. That everyone, it's about everyone's life. If there is corruption, if there is injustice, if there is wrongdoing taking place in the society, everyone suffers. Even politicians suffer. Even their children's future is at stake. So I think we need to have a very inclusive campaign. We need to get everyone together on the platform and tell them that, look, hey, it's your life also and it's important, so you also participate. Third, I think we need to creatively think of activities where everyone can engage. Everyone can participate. For instance, now elections are around the corner. There is absolutely no reason why all the civil society groups should come together and somehow engage with the political parties and ask them, publicly ask them, what is their stand on right to information? What would they do if they come to power? Why don't they put in their manifestos, what is their stand, clearly what is the stand on right to information? And force them, ask them, engage with them and ask them to take a stand on right to information. I think all these things put together would certainly create an atmosphere for right to information in the country.
Arvind, what next for you?
What next? We have been using right to information for quite some time. And we realize that right to information is a great thing that has happened to India. But it takes you till here and then just leaves you. It gives you information. What do I do with that information after that? So I found out that there was a corruption taking place in my area. I use that information and feed it into the same government machinery and ask them to take action on that. They don't take any action. So what I realize is that right to information gives me information but does not give me the decision-making power. And I think politics, how do you define politics? I would define it, who controls the power to make decisions? Today, I don't believe in the kind of democracy that we have. Go out and vote once in 5 years. Elect your king, but then that king decides for the next 5 years whether I need water or I need roads or I need parks. So they take all the decisions. The real democracy will be when we create people's assemblies at the lowest level. And these people's assemblies in the form of Gram Sabhas, in the form of Mohalla Sabhas. When I say Mohalla Sabhas, I'm talking of some form of direct democracy. I'm not saying elected representatives taking decisions. What I'm saying is that people in a small colony getting together month after month and taking their own decisions on how the government funds should be utilized in my area, what are the priorities, And if a government servant does not function according to the wishes of the people should have the power to directly penalize that government servant. So control over financial resources and control over human resources should directly lie with the people. That would be the kind of democracy that I would like to work for. We call it Swaraj. That was Gandhi's dreams. Gandhi also called for Swaraj. In fact, Gandhi said that every village will be a republic unto itself. So the kind of India that he visualized was a federation of 6 lakh villages, not a federation of 28 states. So that is the country we would like to work for, where people directly participate in governance on a day-to-day basis rather than going out and voting once in 5 years.
Arvind, I wish very much all success in that endeavor, and that it does occur in your lifetime and certainly our lifetimes. All the very best, and thank you very much for inspiring us by your presence here.
Thank you, Sanjana, and I really hope that Sri Lanka would get a Right to Information Act very soon. Thank you so much for inviting me today.
Thank you.